All gas, no brakes.
Nope, never breaks.
It's one of the things I enjoy the most.
I just stole your money.
Commanders family, after a long weekend, we are back and gearing up for a week 3 matchup back at the crib. We are taking on the Las Vegas Raiders at home at Northwest Stadium, and we have a lot to get into. Our guys, Logan Paulson and Bram Weinstein, the radio crew, are out at practice doing the field pass on our running backs. Then, our boy Fred Smoot, he hits the slot machine to end the show. We talking winning numbers. All that and more right now on the best Commander show in the world, Command Center. Welcome into Command Center from the Big Bear AI Command Center studio. I'm your host, Brian Coble Jr. here. Mr. 8 to the 9, Santana Moss, the mouth of the South, Fred Smoot, and the legend, Logan Paulson. Now, fellas, a long week, and we probably needed it, right? Because as head coach Dan Quinn said, we're losing some guys for the season. Jaden Daniels is also banged up. Logan, as players, how did you guys make up for this extra time? How did you make the most of it?
Well, I think, this extra time is invaluable in terms of getting healthy. You guys probably remember, you get nicked up, ankle sprain, hyperextended elbow, and for whatever reason, those extra 2-3 days, I don't know if it's the treatment, it's just not doing anything.
It changes everything.
It brings you back to life a little bit. So, getting with the training staff, they've got a great doctors down there. They'll figure out a way to get you feeling the best you can be in, 10 days? So I think it's really, really valuable.
To me, it's more mental. To have that weekend
just refresh.
Yes, to have that weekend to sit on the couch and watch other people play football, that does something to you.
Yeah.
It's nothing like watching people in your own position go out there and make plays to get you I'm ready to get back on the field. So as much as it's the body, I also think it's the mind that gives you
the soul.
The soul. Because it's football.
Yeah.
Right. Especially after a loss. After you've taken a loss, mentally you hurt, you're mad. And just to sit back, quiet things down, get back to normal, I think that changes a lot.
Yeah, Fred said it best, and Logan said it best as well. I think it's mental and it's, health.
Yeah.
Both of them. I think you get a reset and a recharge. I used to love the fact that I got 2 extra days or 3 extra days now to call my trainer to come in town and say, guess what? You got a chance to kind of milk all this stuff out of my body, all that bad waste, all that bad, lactic acid, that I have that's sitting around. So I was taking full advantage of chiropractors, soft tissue experts, so you name it, I brought them all up. But I also got a chance to watch some good football and just relax. You know what I mean? Kind of whatever happened that week before, I got a chance to put that all behind me.
Fellas, an extended week for us, but a short week for the Las Vegas Raiders, who played a very, very late game on Monday Night Football against the Los Angeles Chargers, which they lost. And let's take a closer look at our Week 3 opponent, the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, again, the Raiders are coming off a Week 2 loss on Monday night against the LA Chargers. The Las Vegas' offense is led by veteran quarterback Geno Smith, featuring sophomore tight end Brock Bowers and first-round pick running back Ashton Jeanty. Now, their defense is anchored by one of the best pass rushers in the league. That's defensive end Max Crosby. With Pete Carroll's first year at the helm, the new-look Raiders offer a great test for our Commanders. Now let's take a look at some of the new faces in Las Vegas this season. Fellas, no surprise here, Geno Smith. They added him along with Pete Carroll. Devin White used to play at LSU. The linebacker still got some left in the tank. Ashton Jeanty, the first-round pick. And then a familiar name on there, fellas. Safety Jeremy Chin, who was with the Commanders last season. A lot of new faces over in Vegas. Now, our guys are in the film room right now. So it's time for Top 5, presented by UA Local 5 Plumbers, protecting the health of the nation's capital since 1890. Logan, take it away, bro.
Thanks, BC. All right, let's take a look at some top 5 players here. And the guy that comes to the forefront of mind for me is this guy, Max Crosby, man. And
Max.
And I think this play kind of encapsulates who he is, Tana. Check my guy out here. So so first off, love this plan by the Patriots. They got the tight end to the same side, make him rush a little bit wider, right? But don't matter. He's going high, he's going fast, he's going to work a double swipe, and Drake May sees it. But this is what I think he does best, is this kind of
all gas, no brakes.
Nope, never breaks. And it could be a run, could be a pass. He is hunting for that football, man. And luckily this was an incompletion, but that's what he brings, is kind of this relentless dog mentality.
And guess who he is as a defensive back? When you look at his defensive profile, he's not the fastest, not the biggest, not the strongest, but whistle to whistle, nobody does it like Mad Max.
Mad Max, man.
And so that's what so in terms of defensive front, You got to know where this guy is at all times. And I think that's something we got to be really aware of.
Alert 98.
Alert 98, wherever he's at. Chip help, slide help. Let's get it going.
Yep.
The other guy that's been really impressive in terms of addition is Geno Smith, man. They're going to run a little drift here, Tana. This drift's going to come in from this side of the screen. And, he doesn't get a lot of love, but this is an NFL big-time throw, on time, not great vision, in a tight window. Dot.
Ooh.
That's what he brings,
jumps
man.
out his hands.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
That's one of the things about Geno Smith, man. We was just talking about this earlier, just talking about how he's been around for a while, and you would think you would see some of this stuff as kind of like, not be the same as a guy that came out of college.
Yeah.
But he still have fresh legs, have a huge arm, and he's not scared to throw into those tight windows.
Nah, he can throw into these tight windows, but here is a semi-hospital ball. Because when you're throwing that ball in there right there, you see that right there? Now, let's see the guy that's finna pop into the screen right there. Let it go. This is what I'm talking about right here. Like, yes, you can get it through that window right there, but did you set him up for medical coverage?
Ooh, this is what happened on Monday night, right? That
He's
ball
protected. He got insurance.
Got intercepted, right? But I think he can deal. He's got the live arm, good playmaker for them.
Yeah.
But again, so he's the guy that kind of makes the thing go. But in terms of offensive pass catchers, it's a little unusual, right? Because you got Brock Bowers. And it's very rare for me to see a tight end get a choice route like this and dice it up like this, right? So look a little release here, right? He's right here. Work this little kind of.
Look at that boy. He slow rolled that thing a little bit. Let me see what he got.
Right across the middle here. Use the pick. And then watch him get off on this guy.
He's going to run away from people now.
Like, I didn't know we had this in the tank, man.
I did, because he's from the SEC, so I watched this kid grow.
All right.
This is what I'm telling you. Pound for pound, one of the best tight ends to come out in the last 15 years. The things that he does when he gets the ball in his hand is very running backish.
Yeah.
It's like his yak is totally different than anybody he sees. And he's paired with his tight end buddy, Mike Myers, down there right now. But if you look at these guys run and their athletic profile, two different football players.
I just like him because he got 89 on.
Do you like that?
Of course you do.
I figured you like that, yeah. So they got an explosive playmaker at tight end, a lot of target volume, and can line them up in a multitude of different ways. The other guys that I think are really interesting from an explosive play standpoint are the receivers, right?
Yeah.
Number one here, man, Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
He's got 4-3 guy coming out, Tana, and talk to me about this route. He's got some vertical juice. Flip the hips. Ooh,
okay.
I mean, what's up with that right there?
Normally, like Fred always say, normally when guys are fast, quick, twitched up, they can't stop.
Yeah.
And he just shows you he's a guy that can get up to a couple of gears and get up out of it. So when you have a guy that can do that, you better be careful out there on that back end. But one of the things I love about what we do, we like to get up in your face. So hopefully we have a scheme where we say, you know what, we know you guys have some speed. Let us put our hands on them so we can slow things down for your quarterback.
You have to stall them out for a little bit.
And again, this is one of those things with the offensive line. They want to get into like max protection looks with their two tight ends here. Brock Bowers out of the game right now, but like they want to protect it so Geno Smith can launch this ball down the field to these fast football players and find these explosive opportunities. And like that's the thing, is down to down, not super efficient, but they get these explosive chunks and it leads to points.
And I wonder, with this young wide receiver, was he supposed to go deep on that play? Did he have a choice? Did he have a choice? Because if you're gonna go max here, and I'm only sending 2 wide receivers in a route, usually y'all pushing us down the field on that one. So I wonder, was this a choice route?
Yeah, no, like a deep choice.
Yeah,
definitely could be. But again, that's a big characteristic of this offense. And again, another explosive playmaker for them is Thornton. He's the young guy, 4th-round pick out of Tennessee.
Yeah,
he's 6'5".
6'5".
He's 215, and he ran a 4.3 40.
He can go.
And just watch him eat this cushion up, and then little up, and then if this ball is out,
oh, yeah.
It's gone. It's gone 90 yards.
So what I would say is, like, they've got the tight end, they've got a quarterback that can get them there, they've got some young, explosive playmakers.
Yeah.
And so, to me, it's like, I think first, second down, you're going to be all right, but when they're ready to throw their haymaker, what's your counter?
Yep. You got to have something waiting on these guys. Because they got somebody at every position.
They have the weapons. We just got to get out them. We got to play like we played week 1. You know, we got to bring that same kind of tenacity, that same kind of intensity. And trust me, it'll be a different ball game.
And don't let them get started on us.
Yeah.
That's the key. Because all NFL offenses are going to get started. They're going to hit a hot streak. Don't let it happen on you.
Yeah, but getting back to playing that Commanders football, I think is going to be really important. And someone who knows a lot about Commanders football is Joe Whitt Jr. Let's hear what he's got to say.
You know, veteran quarterback and Geno, strong arm, talented, can put the ball up, has eligibles on the outside that can really go and get in and stretch the field. A dynamic young tight end that, you know, when you talk about being one of the best receiving threats, you have to almost treat him like a receiver. He's just a dynamic player. I remember watching him when he was at Georgia when he was a freshman, and I was like, if he came out, he'd probably be the first tight end to get drafted if he came out as a freshman. So I have a lot of respect for him. The running back, man, he's just good, man. Natural leverage. He has the ability to run through arm tackles. You have to get to his legs. You have to get multiple people there. The offensive line's blocking very well. 74 is a really, really good player. He doesn't give up much. So, we have our work cut out for us this game, but we just need to play our game. We play the way that we played the first game. And like I said, Green Bay, our eyes weren't true. The running hitting wasn't there, but we just had to clean up our eye discipline and not allow those explosive plays up the field.
Let's dive more into this matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. It's time for Securing the W, presented by Hercules Fence. Security in every job. Fellas, we're already on to week 3, the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, head coach Dan Quinn said it. We did lose Dietrich Wise for the season 10. How can our defensive line make up for that loss?
I think one of the things that we have going for us as a whole is depth and flexibility. I think one of the things you see about our defensive line, they're bringing guys in and out. So you got guys like Armstrong, you got guys like Martin, you got guys like Baptiste. All these guys now have to step up and fill in that void. And I think they're up for the challenge. I think that's one of the things that we have going for us right now.
Yeah, and I don't think one person's going to be able to fill that role, but it's going to be, the youth of Jean-Baptiste, the body type of Jalen Holmes coming off the practice squad. Like, they'll find a way to get it done, but you can't replace that level of experience, and that's why it's going to be tough.
And Fred, we saw the Raiders play earlier this week on Monday Night Football. Geno Smith sacked 3 times. How can we find that same success against their offensive line?
Well, you're talking about an offensive line that has a couple creaks and leaks in it, right? You're talking about an offensive line that once you start to get after these guys, if you can keep that momentum going, the thing is, I think Geno Smith doesn't get enough love for the type of athlete he is. He's faster than you think he is. So 3 sacks against the Chargers, that's actually, they supposed to have like 6 or 7 sacks, but he weaseled his way out of it. So we want to keep him inside the pocket. We want to keep him inside the pocket, and we want to keep the heat on the stove turned all the way up. So hopefully the interior guys can do it this game. The Ken Laws can get it done.
And I was going to say, it's really how you handle their play-action pass game. Like, they're looking for these explosive shots down the field. How do you kind of handle those max protection looks and keep them flustered? Because like you said, they have explosive weapons down the field, but you can, it's a little leaky group. Can you take advantage of it?
And then them being on the road, too, our home field advantage should be key. One of the things you want to see our fans get in and get after those guys. Give our defense something to really go out there and kind of like play off of.
And Logan, there's some weapons on this offense for the Las Vegas Raiders. We struggled against a guy like Kraft. Green Bay Packers had a career game against us. Now we're going against possibly the best tight end in the league in Brock Bowers. How can we slow him down, particularly from our linebackers and our safeties?
I think like anytime, context is important when talking about these two comparisons. Like Tucker Kraft got open a lot because of the scheme that the Green Bay Packers run. There's a lot of man beater stuff. There's a lot of kind of things where I'm blocking, I'm messing with run fits, I'm messing with DB's eyes. The Las Vegas Raiders don't do a lot of that. It's kind of this spread out. They treat him almost like an X-wide receiver. It'll be much easier to diagnose his usage pattern. Obviously, he's a dynamic player. You got to cover him. But I do think like the scheme isn't going to elevate him the same way. So it's like, can we find a good cover matchup on it? Like maybe Will Harris, Quan Martin. Who do we feel best in that man situation? Maybe it's Mike Sanders still. But again, they're not going to kind of trick you the same way that Green Bay did.
They tell you where he's going to be at. Like there's no mystery to where's Waldo when it comes to that.
Now I said it before too. With all that being said, will the Raiders come out and say, let's take some of this from Green Bay? Because teams it's a copycat league. Teams see something works once, they like, well, you know what? Maybe we need to implement this into our game plan. So we don't know yet, but we'll be looking for it.
And Tanner, to your point, Brock Bowers is a guy that can be moved in the backfield, moved all over the field. He's used a lot. Now, Fred, let's flip over to our offense. Because Jaden Daniels sacked 4 times during Thursday Night Football. How do we keep Jaden Daniels clean?
First of all, you got to find where's Max Crosby, right? And we got to block this unit as a unit. Like the one thing I think we haven't did very well is block as a unit because we blocking as independent contractors. It seems like everybody's on their own mission to. I have to win this battle. When this battle can be won with all of us, and I think that's what we got to do to keep the quarterback clean and keep the run game 3-4 yards ahead of time. So I think not only do we need to get healthy at that group, I think that group, and it takes time for them to gel. They just like everybody else on the team. It takes time for them to gel. But also, when it's going to click, when it's going to happen, that they just start to block more as a unit than independent.
And Logan, man, you look at a guy like Josh Connolly Jr. What a first few games he's had. He's gone up against some true tests. Then you bring up a guy like Max Crosby. How do you expect Josh Connolly to fare against a guy like Max Crosby? What have you seen from the tape that makes you say, okay, he's getting better each and every game?
Well, I mean, for a fact, he's getting better. I mean, just like the confidence he's playing with. I think the physicality, it's really the competitive toughness that he brings. I'm talking to Josh Connolly now, and so, like, I'd be like, oh, man, we got to sell the farm based on, like, the statistical numbers, right? Yeah. But when you look at the down-to-down competitiveness, he's a guy you want to bet on, right?
Keeps coming.
And so, like, you mentioned Crosby there, and I look at Crosby, and again, he's a little bit different stylistically than Micah Parsons, than Burns, right? Like different. He's going to be, I'm going to attack your high edge. I'm not going to give you all this variety. I'm going to work really hard. And it really comes down to, can you just outwork him? Yeah. And again, Crosby's a great player. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league. So I'm not saying this is going to be an easy out, but hopefully the lack of diversity that he brings as a rusher will be helpful.
And Tanner, before we wrap up, we know that we're missing Austin Eckler in our run game. We know how that's going to affect the run game. But a receiver in Deebo Samuel can be used in so many different ways. We've seen him already impact the run. Do you see Cliff leaning on Deebo a little more now that we're down a body in the rushing room?
Well, I'm not sure. I think Deebo is a weapon that you always want to, keep in mind that he can do a lot. You can put a lot on his plate. But when you have 3 other running backs that you can really go out there and get that usage from, why overload Deebo Samuel? We got Matt Nichols, we got Rodriguez, we have Bill. We have enough guys there that it's going to have to be somebody stand up or running back by committee. So do I believe that we will use Deebo in some kind of form? Yes. But do I think that we will probably use him more than we have? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Fellas, a very, very big matchup for us this weekend. Now, we're going to take a break real quick because Logan Paulson and Bram Weinstein, they hit the practice field earlier this week. Let's check it out. It's time for Best Seat in the House, presented by SeatGeek. The most disruptive idea in ticketing, a ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Thanks, BC. Bram, how great is it to be back out of practice? You were just saying it's been a long time since we played a game.
It feels like a long time. Like, remember, end of the preseason, 2 weeks to week 1, and now it feels like a long time again to get to week 3. Really interesting matchup, though, this week. I know everyone wants to see a reemergence of the run game after week 1. The Raiders, interestingly, through the first couple of weeks, total defense hovering bottom half of the league. Yeah. Rush defense top 5, points against top 5, so getting the running game going is not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's interesting when you watch the film of those guys. Like, they do get downhill. They're aggressive to stop the run. Obviously, Max Crosby is a guy that kind of finds ways to create negative runs, tackles for loss, does a great job in pursuit. So it'll be interesting because, like, again, then when you compare that to the coverage of the Las Vegas Raiders, there's a lot of space in the back end. So it's this weird dichotomy of pretty efficient on first down, second, third and long, not as efficient, so it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out.
Interestingly, too, the first 2 opponents they had, Patriots, Chargers, prominent rookie running backs as part of the committees. Travion Henderson for New England, Omarion Hampton for L.A., and here's Bill with the injury to Austin Eckler. We figure to see more carries, more opportunities for him.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, and it seems like deserving. I don't know how you feel about it, but when you watch that Green Bay film, like, he was kind of one of the bright spots coming out of that game, ability to kind of maximize negative runs. Guys not finishing blocks, he's able to kind of fall forward behind his pass for 4 or 5 yards. Obviously, the week 1 thing has been talked about a ton, but I think a guy that has some creativeness to his game, and obviously the offensive line in week 1, and really when they did run the ball in week 2, is a good group to run behind. So I think kind of the combination of those and Bill's natural ability, I think, is something to keep an eye on.
The quarterback running is a big part of this offense. Yeah. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be. So how do you think about whether it's Jaden Daniels or Marcus Mariota this weekend?
Well, I think, Marcus Mariota, one of his superpowers, and going back and watching film from last year of his starts, is he is really masterful with the ball handling on some of those zone reads, some of that quarterback keep stuff. And I do think he's faster than people think. What is he, 31, 32 years old, getting up there, but he still moves really, really well. And so I do think while it might not be as effective as if Jaden Daniels were in there, I think he still brings a lot of that. And even a hampered Jaden Daniels, I think they're not going to put him in there without having a background and an ability to run the football and protect himself.
I do really think, though, is this a pass to set up the run? Because it feels like the Raiders are going to force that issue here.
Yeah, I think that's entirely possible. And again, this is one of those things where I think game flow is going to dictate a lot of it. You and I were talking about Geno Smith, kind of up and down in that Monday night game. If this is a 1-score game, I think you can be patient, you can punt offensively, and you can find and kind of make sure you capitalize on those opportunities when they show up.
They're all 1-score games, as we send it back to you, Brian.
Shout out to Bram and Logan for getting it done on the field. Now, let's take a look at our Week 3 details for the Commanders matchup this weekend against the Las Vegas Raiders. We will be at the crib. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. And make sure you don't miss Game Day Live, streaming on the Commanders YouTube, Facebook, and X. That'll be at noon. That's with me and future Hall of Famer Brian Mitchell. It's the 8 to the 9 Santana Moss, and of course, myself. Now, these two head coaches know each other very well, dating all the way back to the Legion of Boom. Now, Quinn spent a season in Seattle under head coach Pete Carroll as the assistant head coach and defensive line coach back in 2009. He then returned to Seattle in 2013 as the defensive coordinator. The Seahawks won it all over the Broncos, 43-8 in Super Bowl 48. A lot of familiarity with these two guys. Now let's hear from head coach Dan Quinn from this week's game plan. This is your Can't Miss Moment presented by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official partner of the Washington Commanders. There's a relationship and bond that you have with Pete Carroll. You guys go way, way back. And what makes a guy like Pete Carroll, who's done this for so long, such a great competitor?
Yeah, I think one, I've got a lot of, gratitude for him. And I'd been a defensive line coach for a long time in the NFL and gave me the chance to do it as a coordinator. And so that takes belief, and it also instills confidence, just like we do down to the players as a head coach. You can also do that, to your assistant coaches and help them develop and help them grow. And so I learned early on, man, that he had a philosophy and was rock solid about it. And oftentimes as a play caller that goes to become a coordinator, okay, that's all there is. But the coordinator who becomes a head coach, you have to adapt and change and make sure the philosophy, you're not just coaching that unit anymore. You're coaching the entire team. And it was so clear that he was connected to the entire team. And I felt that philosophy and learned it and got to live it. And so, yeah, tons of gratitude. And hopefully I put my own flavor on my own. Yeah. But, 10 years ago, that was a really impactful time for me to have that kind of belief and confidence. And, now hopefully I get to pay that forward to some other assistants, through my time in Atlanta and Dallas and here. It's one of the things I enjoy the most.
It's time for your winning numbers, brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. Now, Logan, I know you have never been in a casino before.
What's going on here?
Because you are a great man now. This is called a slot machine.
Oh, okay.
These are in things called casinos that are in Vegas. Fred, you're pretty familiar, right?
Yeah, we got one down
in Las Vegas this week, right?
I was just in Vegas now, Fred. Normally we do the fire. We do the Fred's Fired Up.
Yes.
But this time, we got Fred's winning numbers. Yes. Pull the lever, Fred. First number 99, Javon Kinlaw.
Listen, this is a magical number right here. It ain't just about the number, it's about the man. Because when Kinlaw is on and playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, we got a chance to dominate any team in the league.
What about Ashton Jennings?
99 times. That's what I want to do to Ashton Jennings. Because once you get Ashton Jennings to stop hitting them in their backfield and make them one-dimensional, make them pass that ball, make Geno pass that ball. I know that seems kind of backwards. Geno, he's a Pro Bowler. He's all pro. He's been there. No, force him to pass that ball, force him to be one-dimensional, and we got a chance to win. What you think about that?
No, I think Kinlaw, man, when you see the violence, see the snap in his body, he can really change this game in a dominant way. Rushing the passer also, too. Yeah. So he brings a lot of juice.
Pull the lever, Fred.
One more time.
Number 20.
I love this one,
They
man.
already stole the interception from a man. Right? So he's thirsty, he's hungry, and guess what? The one player that they're going to try to get the ball to in 4 speed is Bowers, the tight end. He's the best offensive player they got. He's the best offensive weapon they got. So why not put one of our best guys on? You say Smoot, why not Will Harris? I want them both together. But I'm going to start with Quinn Morton because Quinn has these sticky hands. He knows how to get that ball back. What you think about that, Tam?
Eddie Kane Jr., he reminds me of Ed Reed.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love about Quan, he's not only one of those guys who's a threat in the back end, up front. You can put him in the box, you can move him around, you can send him on blitzes. He do it all, so I love 20, baby.
One more time, Fred. Pull the lever. This is number 4.
Breaking Louisville.
Listen, Tasmanian devil.
That's what I want. The Tasmanian devil. I want him all over the place. No direction. I want it organized chaos at its finest. That's what he do. I want him coming downhill. Frankie Louisville. I'm not going to sign you to a person. I'm not going to sign you to a player. What you do seeps out to the whole team. I need your energy. That's what I do.
Fred, man, you are sweaty, dog. I'm juiced up about that. I'm juiced up about number 4, man. Because, again, he's a guy that was a big part of this team last year, been a little quiet. Want to hear him get after it a little bit this weekend.
Commanders family, Fred gets this sweaty only for the best fans in the NFL. Those will be your winning numbers, and we're hoping for a big win at the crib when we take on the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll see y'all on game day. We'll be there pregame live. Me, Santana Moss, and Brian Mitchell. For Logan Paulson, for Fred Smoot, and Mr. 8 to the 9 Santana Moss. I'm Brian Cober Jr. This is Command Center. We'll see y'all Sunday when we take on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Maryland lottery number 99.
I think we're missing a few.
Say ching.
I just stole your money.
Command Center was filmed at Big Bear AI Command Center Studio. Big Bear AI offers mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world, proudly protecting the Washington Commanders and its fans.